are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. From the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 4th down, Watson. There's Chris Olave. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game planned for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game planned for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Back to throw, Watson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Scotty Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Dolphins are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because, let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
A handoff to McAllister, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine, because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning, they got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. 1 back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, here's Tua. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit. And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On second down, Kamara. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. This from 42 yards out. And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
That's a big league job there.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. This field goal, you know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truth.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Robbie Anderson with career touchdown number 60. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw is Watson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're
under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Here's Corliss Waitman now. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. On the give, McAllister with it. Room here to run. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints 11. 62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Another run with McAllister. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Partner, I know I'm supposed to really describe what happened there. I'm counting on you for this one. That was one weird play.
Well, what I was going to ask you, in these situations, shouldn't these guys just dive on the football around the goal line rather than try to make a heroic? And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Sly on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead.
Makes the score Saints 21, Dolphins 9.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. .13 yards remaining on second down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. Play action, now it's Tua. And he's taken down here by the Saints. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They run it again with Kamara. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Watson off play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
35 yards that time on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Forced out to his left. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Tua. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. 2nd and 2. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with McAllister. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded right around the 8. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tua. And his throw here's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on third down, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's taken to the 26. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Ready, yellow, 43.
This is McAllister. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range. Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and that will keep this a 12-point game. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
54, mark, 54, mark. Check, walk 54, walk 54. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
first down, it's Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he lifted in, defender was right on him.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A run now with a tight end fan.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
His second rushing touchdown of the year and third overall.
As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Joey Sly sets the kickoff.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. A short kick taken at the 18. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Alontae Taylor.
He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. On the return, here's Agnew. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that's going to push him back half the distance. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Third and long, it's Watson. Going up top.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set them up with a 1st and goal. They run with Deuce McAllister, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run here with McAllister, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On the carry, it's McAllister. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's a give up the middle.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 80 yards on the ground for him so far.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll drop it off to McAllister as running back. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He finds his man complete. That's Jordan. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Here's Tua. And he fires one incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it, eluding the pressure right. And going deep for Hill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Here we go. Red 38.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Watson. He completes it to Olave. Finding room at midfield. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Flushed out right. And he's got it complete to Anderson.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Here we go. Mike 7. Mike 7. Ding.